We're back, dude.
We are
Baseball.
back.
I guess today's like the official start of the MLB season in like super weird fashion. We kind of talked about it earlier today.
Yeah.
I'm Chris. That's Pat. This is Paint and Corner. Just an average baseball pod with a couple of average baseball fans, maybe something like that.
Yeah. Like that.
The season officially started today over there in Japan. Tokyo Dome game, right?
Yeah. Good old Tokyo series underway. Second year in a row they're doing it. I'm not gonna lie, it's throwing me off, dude. I don't know if I like it.
They've done it before. I know you said it's second year in a row, but I was listening to the Yankees broadcast on the way, and they talked about like Joe Girardi's last year playing out. They went over to Japan.
Oh, no way. They did it back then?
Yeah, and I've heard like people talk about like that Tokyo Dome game, but I thought it was only the last couple of years too. But I guess
That's what I thought. I guess I didn't realize that it was that long ago.
Because I was hearing some of the guys like talk about going over there and then having to come back and adjust because like your body is so out of whack, and like unlike other sports like baseball is the most, I think you have to be so in tune with your body, in particular like catchers, pitchers, and hitters.
Yeah, I mean
that it gets kind of weird.
Obviously, you're playing a 162 game season,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's yeah, sure, it's not as taxing as maybe like football in the sense of or hockey or even basketball, and what you're actually doing. I know people give baseball players a lot of grief for just they just stand there the whole time, but it's so much more than that. But how long are they in Tokyo for? Like, when did they get there?
They got there, I think last week they took off. Whatever day we were at Fox and Snow and I walked over there with you was like the day they left.
Yeah, okay. So that was like a week ago today.
Yeah, so that was the day they left, and then they played some of the Japanese teams over there, and then they actually played their games. And it's funny because it's like the Dodgers go over there, and people joke about how it's like the farm. They're going to check on their farm system.
Yeah.
Because like all those Dodgers players. Did you see Hai-Sung Kim, the second baseman that the Dodgers signed?
No way.
He got sent back to the so he signed with Hai-Sung Kim.
Oh yeah. Not the one on the Padres, you're saying.
No, that's the other one.
Yeah, I get those two.
No, Hai-Sung Kim is the one that was a second baseman over in wherever last year.
Yeah.
Somewhere. He got DFA'd already.
No way.
Yeah, so he did not break camp with the Dodgers.
Okay.
Because they were going on their trip and they left him in the United States.
Damn, what a cold move right before going over to Tokyo.
Yeah, dude, super cold move.
Hate to see it.
It is weird though, because both those teams do have spring training games coming up. It's fascinating, dude, because I think the Cubs are going to be really bad.
Yeah, man. I mean, we were kind of talking about this the other day. You look at their lineup and there's really no one outside of Kyle Tucker that's going to do consistent damage, at least in my opinion.
I mean, if you look, it's Kyle Tucker and Suzuki, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you view guys like Ian Happ. I mean, Michael Busch is their cleanup hitter. Not a fan of him.
That's gross.
Yeah, and then it's like Dansby Swanson and PCA are towards the bottom of the lineup, but like
those are both defenders and base runners, not really hitters.
Not hitters. So it's like it's really just Suzuki and Tucker. And honestly, I'm not even that much of a fan of Suzuki. I think he's been kind of overrated since he's come over here.
Okay, that's fair. I think in Suzuki, honestly, like hasn't had a good spring. 194, 257, and then 290 is a slash line.
Yeah,
which is pretty disgusting. But he's a guy that's been over 800 OPS every year, right?
The last 2 years. Outside of his first year, he was 770, and then over 800 the last 2 years.
Okay,
I just feel like there was a lot of hype around him for him to just be.
There was a ton of hype. The issue is like people thought he was going to be like the next like great Asian MLB player, like great Asian MLB hitter,
like Ohtani. Basically, he got Ohtani comps.
Yeah, he got that. What was his contract for? Or did he sign one of those like Roki Sasaki like small deals?
He was 5 year, $85 million contract.
Okay, so he got a medium sized contract, yeah, and he's just been okay. I mean, he's been good, not great, but Kyle Tucker's gonna have to learn the hard way, man. Like Cody Bellinger was an MVP over there with the Dodgers, and then went to the Cubs with that lineup, and guess what? With no protection, teams can hurt you. Like I guess it's not Kyle Tucker's fault. Kyle Tucker didn't sign there for a 1 year deal, but Kyle Tucker going there the year before he hits free agency is going to hurt his value, I think.
Yeah, it is funny because, I mean, Bellinger also resurrected his career in Chicago, so it's like
he did.
I think there's something to be said about that. But like for Kyle Tucker, I mean, you're going from a lineup where you had protection, galore, dude, in front and behind you. It's just like you went from hitting in between Yordan Alvarez and Alex Bregman to Seiya Suzuki and Michael Busch. I mean, Jesus, that's talk about an absolute downgrade. But you pointed out the other day to me, he hit under 200 this spring, right?
Under 100.
Or under 100 this spring.
Under 100 this spring. Yeah, he's been terrible this spring. On the meanwhile, like, so obviously, like, as a Yankees fan, like, as soon as Soto goes to the Mets, it's like, oh crap, like, what are we gonna do? And like the two options that were floated out there immediately were Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker. And like they're a year apart at the time. Kyle Tucker was 27, he's now 28, and Belly was 28, and now he's 29. But it's like I wanted Tucker, and I probably still would take Tucker currently over Belly. But so far this spring, Bellinger, kind of with a little bit of protection in the lineup, and with more adjustments that came to his swing with that short right field porch, and kind of like his approach has been really, really good, and Kyle Tucker has not. Which is it's just weird because like usually you want to see guys who are in their 20s that are, experienced MLB players that we know are super talented. You want to see those guys have pretty big springs usually.
Yeah.
Like for the 30 and over crowd, I don't care about their spring.
No, but I mean, you're looking at, it's funny because if you actually look, he's faced worse pitching than Bellinger in the preseason. If you look at his like opponent adjusted quality, it's a 7.1, which basically equates to like a AA pitcher. And Bellinger's is 7.5. So just a tad higher, but still facing overall better pitching than Kyle Tucker has this spring. And for 0.43 batting average. I mean, that's not ideal.
That's horrendous. So I'm curious, and obviously, like this year, I mean, I guess at the end of the year, dude, who do you think is gonna get more money, like Vladdy or Tucker?
Ooh,
because those are the two premier free agents. This like if you want to look a whole 162 games in the future, two teams that I think if they aren't winning by the deadline will both be sellers, and like who's their top sell piece? Tucker and Vladdy.
I think. I'm not going to freak out over spring training.
Me either.
I think Kyle Tucker is still the better player and will get more in return and will sign probably a bigger deal. But yeah, it'll be close. If this trend continues and he really struggles this year in Chicago, I think
Vladdy's gonna get more. And not because I think he's a better player, but I know he's represented by Boris.
Okay, so
and Tucker's not.
Yeah, that definitely matters.
And Boris is like the ultimate like milker because there's no way like Soto commanded 765.
Yeah, I mean,
like on God's green earth, no.
That's Ohtani money.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous amount of money. Our guy, the strikeout king, Joey Gallo, hanging it up. Well, not hanging it up. You got cut by the White Sox,
dude. You know it's bad when you get cut by the fucking White Sox, man.
Yeah,
that's the lowest of lows right there.
Dude, it's so funny because like he framed it like he was retiring. Like he framed it like it was his honestly, like WPR move by Joey Gallo.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Joey Gallo, I mean, shout out our guy Ben Vargo in the chat. I mean, Gallo was so much power, dude. Ultimate power, unlimited power. But the Gallo framing it like he and the White Sox decided to go to a mutual parting of ways and he's about to go pitch is top 5 funniest thing.
Yeah. Hold on.
What was Gallo's best year?
It was probably 2019, I think. But if you look up the top 5, what is it? Yeah. So if you go the top 5, I mean, this is no longer true because he's officially retired. But Joey Gallo is top 5, at least as of last year, was a top 5 active player in terms of home runs per plate appearance in the MLB.
That's crazy.
He was 5th. It was Judge was 1st. Then Pete Alonso 2nd, Shohei 3rd, Giancarlo 4th, and Joey Gallo is 5th in the MLB amongst active players. He ranks 8th all time with at least 3,000 plate appearances.
I mean, dude, that's who he is. Ultimate boomer bust, man. Yeah. You know, he also never had an 100 RBI season.
I'm not surprised.
Never. Well, I am. You would think one of those years where he hit 40, you could get 100 RBIs.
Did he? He did crack 40?
Yeah, he cracked 41, 2. Yeah, he cracked 40 twice and got 38 another time.
Yeah, I just for some reason always pictured him as like a high 30s guy, but yeah.
No, he's only actually been in the 30s one time his whole career.
That's funny. Other 2 times. Yeah, it was all right. So it was 17 and 18, not 19 that I was thinking of. 19, he still had a good year, but
Yeah, man. What a bizarre case.
yeah, so it's funny. Both those years that he hit 40 home runs, he had an 869 and then an 810 OPS. His OPS plus was only 118 and 109 those 2
Because
years.
he hit 206 and 209 in those 2
I
years with the
know.
Rangers, man. What a guy, man. Joey Gallo.
Just crazy.
Dude, I thought him in New York was going to go absolutely berserk.
I mean, yeah. He was the type of guy that you felt was just going to let that crowd get under his skin so easily.
I guess I didn't really know. I didn't know the persona of Gallo. I just knew the swing and like the power. And like, I mean, at that point you thought that, I mean, that lineup was decent enough. No, it wasn't, but he was going to see enough strikes. I felt like,
yeah, I just feel like he screams like that. It's that type of profile where it's like you're not going to deal well with adversity from the New York fan base when they're openly booing you like that. Like it takes a guy like with the mentality of like an A-Rod to get through that kind of torment. Even Stanton has that same mentality. Like, yeah, fans will boo him, but he'll get hot still. And it's like Gallo can never overcome that.
yeah, you're right. He doesn't really have a mental makeup. His 2018 percentile rankings, his expected slugging was 554, 97 percentile. His average exit velo, 94.3. That's the top percentile in the whole sport. Barrel percentage, 22.5, which means when he swung, he was barreling everything. Hard hit rate, 49.5%. Absurd.
Insane, dude.
But then you look at his whiff rate, 40.8%, K rate, 35%. Good for first and second percentile in all baseball.
He literally is an anomaly, dude. Like,
well, it's like you get these guys every now. I mean, it's like it's a poor man's Adam Dunn, isn't it?
Yeah. That's essentially what it is. And he only was able to be. I mean, he had, I guess, a 5-year window there, but to be that extreme where you're hitting literally towards the end of his career 180, 190, 160, 170, 160, and still be able to hit 20, 30 home runs is crazy.
Wow. And I think the longest home run of his career came against you guys.
It might have.
Yeah, he hit a blast. At the exit velo was 114.3. It went 495.
Yeah.
Texas versus Cleveland 2018, but just upper deck tanked, dude.
In Texas, I'm guessing the ball fucking jumps there.
Yeah, just a.
Well, you know who has the longest home run in Statcast history? This I want to see if our guy Ben gets this. Our resident Rangers fan.
Longest home run in Statcast history?
Yeah.
Because I don't know when Statcast history begins.
It's like 2015, maybe. Okay. I think since they could start to track it through Statcast.
Is it Buddy that died? Shoot.
Buddy that died.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm tweaking.
Yeah, Ben got it.
Oh, Norma.
Mazzara, baby. He hit one like 513. Yeah, good shit, Ben. You know your Rangers.
That's crazy.
I think it's the longest home run in the Statcast era. Let me double check that.
No, I was thinking about Josh.
Yeah, Nomar Mazzara, 505 feet, June 21st against the White Sox.
I was thinking Josh Hamilton.
He's not dead.
Oh.
Wait, is he?
No, he's not, but he did have the drug issues. He's still alive.
Yeah, dude, you freaked me out. I was like, yo, don't tell me he's dead.
No, he's not
That
dead.
was one of my all-time favorites as a kid.
Yeah. No, he's alive. He just had the drug issues. I just got tweaked out there for a second.
Scared me there.
My bad, dude. That's a bad. I'm glad we're a small enough podcast where I can just let that one ride.
No, you're good.
He's got a legal problems, bro, because he hit some tanks, dude, but he was right before Statcast era.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved him, bro. He honestly, like that, my underrated, I guess hot take is that like he's got a top 5 prettiest swing of all time.
I will stand by that. Dude, what's a shame is that like he never won the home run derby, which is crazy because whenever you think of Josh Hamilton, you think of that crazy run he went on at Yankee Stadium at the home run derby. But that was in the semifinal, and dude was just completely gassed for the final round, ended up losing that. I think it's the most robbed someone's ever gotten in the home run derby.
Brutal. Bro, his 2010 season, he hit 359, 411 on base percentage, 633 slugging, 32 home runs, 40 doubles, 100 RBIs. Just an absolute nut, bro. That was his MVP year.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. 359 average is crazy for him too. That was the only year. No, he hit over 300 2 years.
Yeah, and he hit like his swing had so many holes in it, bro. So like when someone like that hits that, like I guess has a batting average like that, it means he was just seeing the ball really well because that swing has a lot of holes in it. It was pretty though, really pretty to watch. But we do have some current day baseball, I guess, to talk about.
Yeah,
a couple things, dude. I mean, we're a week away. Your opening day starter is set, right? Tanner Bybee pitched yesterday.
Yep.
Well, they
looked really good.
6 or 7 innings.
He went 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk. Looked really good. I'm excited, dude. This is like, I have a couple futures tickets on both him and Gavin Williams because I think they're both going to take a massive leap this year if they can just figure out, especially Gavin, how to get deeper into games. That's the biggest thing I think for them is to figure out how to get to that 6 inning threshold pretty more regularly.
Now, was that Tanner's last start before opening day?
I'd imagine it will be. No, he might go. Today's Tuesday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If he goes Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I don't know. Maybe they'll give him a couple innings on Saturday or Sunday.
I mean, right? Like whenever you get like the in between like spring training games for opening day starts, usually they get like a live bullpen.
And that's probably what they'll do.
But I do know that Aaron Boone said because Max Fried pitched today.
Okay.
And I think he pitched 5. He got to 75 pitches.
Nice.
And I think gave up 1 hit or maybe 2 hits and no runs. It was really, really good. Had some crazy put away stuff. So shout out to Max Fried. But Aaron Boone said they're going to give him 1 more start, and he's opening up the second game.
Okay, so who's opening for you guys?
Dude, Rodon, and that's a big issue.
Oh, okay.
Because they said Rodon was the only one that could be like on schedule to start that.
Yeah.
And I'm really concerned about Rodon, dude. Like I'm really concerned. He's only pitched 5 innings so far this spring training.
Okay.
And his ERA is over 10. So now I know that like getting tatted in like one of those will blow up your ERA for the whole spring training, but it's like we've only 5 innings pitched feels like not enough.
That's not enough for. Is he pitching again tomorrow?
I think so. I think he's throwing tomorrow, and then I think that'll line him up for opening day. But it's like with Rodon, it feels almost like he's being hidden a little bit because like Will Warren's gotten more innings, like Max Fried's gotten more innings, like everybody else has gotten more innings than him. And it's kind of.
Do you think this is just because his routine? Is he better off? He doesn't want to overly stretch himself out during spring, or is this normal for him in past?
I mean, I guess I didn't really pay too close attention to it last year. I mean, I could go back to like last spring, but no matter what, like 5 innings pitched for an opening day starter doesn't feel like you're even like that's like 1 pull on the lawnmower.
Yeah, I mean, Bybee, for what it's worth, Bybee's only thrown 9 innings this spring.
Yeah, but he's he had the 1 start where you saw him go to 6.
Yeah.
And I guess like that's really what's bugged me. I mean, shoot, like I think Carlos Carrasco and Rodon have the same amount of innings.
Yeah, that's tough.
And it's like, what are we doing here? But for you guys, so Tanner Bybee's ready to go. Is Gavin Williams ready to go?
Yeah, he looks like he'll be good to go. He's thrown 8 innings this spring. Honestly, he's looked really good. 1.13 ERA through 3 starts, 8 innings. So love to see that. Dude, it's looking like so it's going to be weird what they end up doing with the rest of the rotation because Luis Ortiz is probably gonna break camp in the rotation, but he's looked terrible.
And is he gonna be your number 3?
That's I mean, yeah, that was the hope, but he hasn't pitched like it, dude. He's thrown 10 and 2/3 innings. He's given up 15 earned runs in 10 and 2/3.
Jeez. Do you think it's a conditioning issue, or do you think the stuff is not good enough right now?
I don't know. So he's striking people out 10.1 K per nine. Just the controls in there, 6 walks and 10 and 2/3 innings is not good. I think honestly, he's given up 3 long balls too. It's like the stuff isn't there right now. I'm hopeful that maybe this is just something that kind of just, this is his first year in the Cleveland system. So I don't know if they've tweaked with some things that just aren't working out right now that hopefully will get corrected in due time. But I don't know. It's not fun right now to think about the back half of this rotation.
And then who's the 4?
So probably Ben Lively. I mean, he was good enough last year that I think he's earned it. He's thrown 12 and 2/3 innings this spring, 3.5 ERA, kind of similar to what we saw last year. He's not really striking guys out, but he's, keeping the ball in play, pitching a contact, and getting those ground balls. And then really the guy who's surprised the most this spring is Logan Allen, who's someone that I had already written off before spring, but he is through 14 1/3 innings, has a 1.88 ERA. He's got 13 Ks to only 3 walks, and his walks were an issue last year in the majors, which is why he couldn't make it deep into games. He was only averaging like 3-4 innings a start. So for him to be able to pound the zone and for him to look really good so far, it gives me hope that maybe he'll surprise people and kind of get back to where he was 2 years ago as a solid 4 or 5 guy.
Well, he's been better than Tristan McKenzie.
Oh yeah, dude. The McKenzie experience is over, I think. I think they're going to DFA him.
You think they're going to DFA him?
Well, because he's out of options.
Yeah, I know. I thought they would find a roster spot for him, you think?
I don't think so. I don't think their bullpen is too good that I don't think you could waste a roster spot on him.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I think it's the end of it kills me because actually you don't know because Cleveland is normally the beneficiaries of taking a guy with, who was an elite prospect, top prospect, and then who ended up flaming out, and Cleveland kind of resurrect their career. I don't know if that's in the cards for McKenzie somewhere else, but some team is going to immediately jump on him. Like there's no way he clears waivers and ends up re-signing on a minor league deal.
I mean, I think 100% the Yankees will go.
Yeah.
Like, I think 100%. Like, we're talking about, like, Carlos Carrasco being, like, the 5th starter to open up the year. Like, they would absolutely go in on him. And, like, Matt Blake, who knows him, I think would absolutely be all in to bring him in.
And he's boys with Stroman, too.
Is he?
Yeah, remember they made that bet a couple of years ago where if he pitched X amount of innings, I think it was maybe 2021, that Stroman would gift him a Rolex.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yeah. Bro, pre-Yankee Stro, just who was that? Was that when he was with the Mets?
And it was, it must have been when he was with the Mets. All right, so it was probably 2022. He threw 191 innings. So I think the threshold was 175. If he reached that mark, he would buy him a Rolex, and he did. That was McKenzie's best year. A four war guy that year in 2022, 2.96 ERA, 190 Ks to just 44 walks. Dude, this is crazy. So McKenzie in 191 1/3 innings in 22 had 44 walks. In just 75 2/3 innings last year, he had 49 walks.
Jeez, Pete, bro, like the ultimate yips, dude. It just fell apart for him. Man. And he's going to go down as one of those guys where if he had just gotten Tommy John surgery right away, missed that year, maybe this wouldn't have happened. But I honestly think McKenzie's days in a Cleveland uniform are numbered, dude. I think he's on his way out, unfortunately. Well, if he is, that'll be fascinating. And are you going to be hurt if he ends up in New York?
Absolutely, dude. I hate everything about the Yankees. I don't want to see some of my guys go there.
It'd be like a good redemption, like because that's someone they would absolutely take a chance on. I don't know, like if they want to do, but it just feels like he would end up. It just feels like the Yankees who are looking for pitching with Matt Blake and like
But you always see this with the Yankees, and a lot of it's short-term stuff, but it's guys that fucking sucked with Cleveland that would go to the Yankees and for a brief period of time turned into like a cult hero or just like Gio Urshela for you guys. He was a pretty solid player for a little bit there. You had fucking Corey Kluber. I mean, I'm not going to – he's a bad example because he was obviously really good in Cleveland. But he goes to the Yankees, throws a no-hitter, and it's like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, bro. It's like you get the pinstripe powers, and then it's all gone.
Jake Bowers is another one that literally, I think it was 2 years ago, all of a sudden was popping off for you guys. And this was one of our, big acquisitions a couple of years ago who ended up just completely flaming out. So yeah, dude, it wouldn't surprise me if McKenzie goes to New York and all of a sudden fixes his command issues and becomes like your solid 4 starter.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't happen.
Me either. Do you see the one chat question? No, I hope it happens is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
With Massa most likely on IL, do you guys think Roman Anthony will be on the opening day roster? Is he starting the year on IL?
I guess so.
Yoshida, right? I thought he had a good spring so far. I didn't realize he was going to start the season on IR or IL, I guess.
Yeah, he's still. Yeah, this is saying still building out his throwing program. May not be ready to play in the outfield by the end of training camp. That was 3 days ago.
That's really surprising, but I don't think Roman Anthony's going to start with the big league club.
I don't think he will either, but I hope he does, dude. He's a fun guy to watch. I mean, shit, we were watching his at bat earlier against Max Fried, and I thought he had a base hit on that hanging slider.
Yeah.
That was up in the zone, but
well, I guess my thing is like if Yoshida starts the year on the IL, that'd be so bizarre. He hit a home run today against the Yankees.
Did he really?
Yeah, he hit a 2-run bomb to tie it up, and the Yankees and Red Sox tied today.
Yeah, so he must not.
If they find a way to get him on like the IL just to get Rowan Anthony some time with the majors without burning through anything, I mean that'd be pretty skillful. But he's at least hitting.
Yeah. Again, if they're unless they don't want to use him in a DH role to start the season, that seems that doesn't seem like they would do that, especially if he's hitting well right now.
Well, the thing is like also like the DH side of it, they kind of have a DH. Now that Devers has agreed to be the DH.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got Bregman, Campbell at second, Devers at DH. Do you want to waste a bench spot for a guy that can't play the field?
Yeah. So shit, if that's the case, then yeah, I would absolutely bring up Roman Anthony if you need another outfielder, why not?
Yeah, but their outfield's full though. Or is it not?
No, I don't think it is. Because remember we were talking about this the other day. If Devers was DHing, that means Yoshida would go to the outfield and it would be him, Cedeno Rafaela, or however you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
And then who was the third?
Hold up. Let me look at Boston. And then the other question is like, is Roman Anthony ready to come up right now?
I mean, he's done well so far this spring. What is this? Over his OPS over 800 this spring?
No. He's hitting 241 with a 389 on base percentage and a 768 OPS in 29 at bats. Okay. He's got the one home run that was a bomb home run.
Yeah.
But that's definitely not bad. I think Marcelo's been better. But obviously, like he played the same position as Trevor Story, so like you can't have him up.
Oh, Duran, that's the other outfield.
Oh yeah, Duran at center. Oof, I'm tripping.
I know, same. Rafaela's been kind of killing it this spring. 967 OPS.
Yeah, it's up to 974 after today.
Oh, so Roman Anthony's his OPS was over 800 before today.
Okay.
So it just dropped because these I'm on ESPN right now and these stats haven't updated from today's games yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, I always use MLB.com for spring training just because I feel like ESPN's always slacking when it comes to baseball, bro. Because they hate baseball.
I know, dude.
Baseball, dude.
They hate it.
Lame, dude. They suck. Boston in an interesting spot though, dude. I like their big three. I like Christian Campbell a lot, even though he's struggled so far this spring.
Yeah, I think again, he's like similar to Bazana. Bazana struggled a little bit this spring too, but it shouldn't be a worry. So I mean, these guys for Boston are legit. And how is Mayer? Yeah, dude, Mayer has been
raking so far this spring, dude.
955 OPS. Yeah, he looks really good.
It's crazy because
those three are just going to be sick.
Going to be crazy. It's crazy. The one that's hitting the worst out of the group is going to be the opening day second baseman. Like he's going to be the one that starts. And so far this spring, he's 158. He got picked off today. OPS under 500. Like he's been, or I think it's right at 500. Like he's been not very good. But they like his upside a lot. But I mean, honestly, like if you need an extra outfielder, like I have no issue with Roman Anthony coming up. I always believe the MLB needs teams to like stop waiting on these young guys and like let them come out and figure out their lumps. I think like the best thing for any young players to get as many at bats as possible.
No, and I think we're seeing that trend kind of take over. Baltimore was a big proponent of that. I feel like in recent years, just bringing these guys up early. I mean, obviously, like what was
Baltimore brought Jackson Holiday up.
And he was what? He started 1 for 30 or something last year.
Yeah, they rushed him. Crazy. They brought him up way too early, dude.
Yeah, because when he came back in the second half of the year, he was a lot better. But like honestly, it is what it is, dude. Manzardo struggled when he first got called up last year with Cleveland, and then the second time he was called up in September, he looked a lot better. So, I'm of the belief that you want to get these guys as many at bats in the major league level as quickly as you can. That way they can get through, get adjusted. It's not going to be an easy. I mean, very rarely do you see these guys come in and just automatically start raking in the majors.
Yeah, no, it's definitely really hard to do. You got Rangers Guardians tonight. Who's going tonight for you guys?
Believe it's Ortiz's turn. Here we go. Yep. Luis Ortiz versus Tyler Mahle.
Actually, that's kind of low key a must watch.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun matchup. We've got a fun lineup tonight. This is like the every second base prospect is playing for us tonight. I mean, Daniel Schneemann, Tyler Freeman, Juan Brito, Angel Martinez, all of our super utility guys are playing tonight.
What questions do you want answered before spring training ends for your audience?
Right now, I want to see John Kenzie starting to heat up a little bit.
I saw you had that one ball was hit 104 off the bat, like.
Yeah,
just torched it 2 nights ago.
He's been clearing over 100, exit velos pretty consistently now over the last week or so. Manzardo has been killing it so far this spring. I think I told you yesterday his OPS over spring is his WRC plus in spring is over 200 right now.
Yeah, which is 100% better than the league average. I think his OPS is over 1,000 too.
Yeah, crazy, dude. The biggest thing now is I'm curious what they're going to do with Tyler Freeman because he's been raking this spring. And is it enough to warrant giving him the starting second base job? Or do they just keep him on as the super utility guy that he has been in the past just because he can play the outfield and he's a better defender in the outfield than guys like Gabriel Arias or Daniel Schneemann, who's another guy that's looking for that super utility role. It'll be between, I guess, Schneemann, Freeman, and Angel Martinez, who are all three playing tonight. I think Freeman's earned it right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was also given the second base job. But I would like to see Arias. I think Arias is more upside.
What's Freeman's best position? Like how? Like I guess, or another question: how is he defensively at second base?
Like he's fine. He doesn't have a strong enough arm to play short, so second base kind of fits him, more naturally. I know he's
athletic enough, right? Because he came up as a center fielder, didn't he?
No, I think he came up as a shortstop.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, where did he play? In 22 when he came up, he played. Well, he actually played the most at third. Played 11 games at third, 7 at short, 4 at second. And then 23, played 25 at third, 11 at short, 17 at second. And then last year, he was our opening day center fielder before we traded for Lane Thomas. So he played 97 games in the outfield for us last year. But his I think we kind of got lucky with him in the outfield last year. He posted a +3 defensive runs saved, but he was -1 defensive runs saved at shortstop, and then basically an even defender at third or second. He just doesn't have the quickness and the arm strength to play short. So I like him at second. I like him in center because of his quickness, but obviously we don't need him in center with Lane. I think him as a super utility role is perfect.
What's your ideal opening day lineup for the Guardians?
What I want is Quan leading off, playing left, Manzo hitting second and playing
There's
first.
Been talk of Jose maybe hitting second.
There has been. I'm not ready to believe it yet, just because I know Jose's been kind of apprehensive to batting second in recent years. He likes that. He likes his spot in the 3-hole, but there have been talks, and Stephen Vogt has made it clear that they're looking at a lot more analytics, as a group this year, and determining if it's worth it to move Josie up to the 2-hole. Because I mean, shit, we've seen the Yankees do it. Judge has been Judge and Soto the last 2 years, right?
I know it's team by team specific, but I don't know if you know, but the analytics have shown that like the most likely hitter to be up with 2 outs and nobody on is the 3 hitter. And the 3 hitter also sees I guess across the league has seen the least amount of hitting with guys in scoring position out of all the guys in the top 5 in the lineup.
Yeah, it's just funny. You wouldn't think that, hitting behind 2 good hitters, but yeah, I saw the same thing. It's like the number 2 hole sees the most plate appearances with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
And it's like the old adage is like, all right, if we're going to hit Josie second, that means he's going to see X amount of more plate appearances throughout the season just because he's 1 spot ahead in the lineup. So I'm all for it. If he's good for it. My biggest thing is I don't want to upset or make Josie uncomfortable. I don't know how much of that shit is mental with these guys. So if he's comfortable with it, absolutely. Josie in the 2-hole playing third, then put Manzo in the 3-hole playing first or DH. I think Lane Thomas has looked good in cleanup so far this spring, playing center. Not your prototypical cleanup hitter, but enough pop. And then it'll go based off of platoon, like John Kenzie, Noel, or Will Brennan and right. I think, Bo Naylor after that catching. Carlos will probably be ahead of Naylor as the other first base /DH. And then I think they'll probably start with Rocchio in the 9-hole to start the year as kind of like that second leadoff guy. But if he keeps hitting, man, the way he did in the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if he moved up to like the 5 or 6 spot in the order.
If you'd call me a madman, this is what I would do if I were the Guardians. I would hit Rocchio at the 9. I would lead off Jose. I would hit Quan second, and then I would hit Manzardo third.
Why would you hit Josie first?
I think Josie's speed is really underrated. He is a plus base runner. I mean, he's 30-30 club every year. And I think it's a way to manufacture at bats for him, because I think Rocchio is a good enough de facto leadoff guy just at the bottom of the lineup that I feel comfortable Jose coming up with him on base. And also the speed factor. Stephen Quan does not strike out at all.
No.
So I just think that I think flip-flopping them would be like what the Dodgers have done with Ohtani, hitting him lead off. It would be like, I mean, the Yankees hit Judge lead off. And I think Jose as a top 8 hitter in baseball, I would like to. I mean, that's just the madman approach, and that's honestly because I'm super high on Rocchio also.
Yeah, I guess my biggest concern is that you're guaranteed then an at bat for him each game with no men on, and I know he was pretty consistently bad last year when there were no runners on. His OPS was 771 without runners on.
Which you call that bad, but most people call that like above league average.
Yeah, but for Josie, it's bad.
Yeah, for Josie, it's a little down.
Meanwhile, when you have men on, his OPS was over 1,000.
Over 1,000. Yeah, that's fair. I guess part of it is like I think that you're gonna get one at bat no matter what, a game with nobody on. I also think Rocchio's gonna take a big enough leap that Jose will see enough opportunities.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but again, I'm also of the belief that Rocchio still has to earn that, and so it's like unless he consistently does that, I want Quan at leadoff.
Quan leadoff. No, that's fair. That's fair. It's also like
I also think it's important for Josie to see, because Quan can work a count and he sees a lot of pitches. I think that's important for Josie.
Man, Hosey's so old now. He should be fine.
I know, but still.
Something about the captain and best player of a team leading off just like is super important for me.
Austin Wells, your captain?
Austin Wells is my captain. Oh, captain, my captain. But Aaron Judge has led off for us before.
Yeah.
He's been
Josie's never hit leadoff, or at least he hasn't in recent years. I'm trying to think. Maybe yeah. I don't think he ever. I can go to his career splits right now. I don't know if he's ever hit leadoff, because when he came up, like we had Lindor hitting leadoff for a bit there. Michael Brantley hit leadoff. You had Santana. All right, here we go. So he's had 83 at bats hitting first. Career OPS 595, but that's skewed. It's skewed because it was probably way early in his career.
Yeah, it had to be really, really early.
Yeah. So he actually, the second most at bats he's had outside of hitting third is actually hitting fifth, where he has an 868 OPS. Hitting second then is the third most, career 745 OPS. Just, I don't know, if he can get over that mental block or whatever that it is for him in the 2-hole, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. What a weird thing to have a mental block over.
Yeah, dude. You know how baseball players are, dude.
I do, but I feel like moving up one spot shouldn't do that. I guess I don't know.
So much is mental with baseball players, dude. I used to be crazy superstitious when I played.
But it's like moving up one spot.
I'm just saying, man. I get it. If you're comfortable in the 3-hole, stay in the 3-hole, brother.
Like, is it just about seeing that many pitches before you're up? And it only matters the first time through the lineup anyway. Don't you want more at bats? So many times, bro, Guardians game ended with him on deck.
Yeah. Also, like, no, I get what you're saying. Like, the more at bats, the better. But I will sacrifice a few less at bats if he's more productive in the 3-hole than the 2-hole.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, talk to me about your Yankees. What are you most concerned about right now?
Dude, we still don't have a third baseman, and nobody wants to win this third base job. So I think it'll be our super utility guy is going to end up playing third, and that's Cabrera, who just got Waldo just got engaged too. He's having a decent spring. Yeah, no, he got engaged and he got scratched from the lineup, and everybody was freaking out. I also know that Clark Schmidt has a cranky shoulder and cranky back, so he got some pitching issues, and like Rodon not pitching at all this spring, and every clip I see of Rodon, it's of him giving up a bomb to who knows who in live BP. I'm very concerned because, like, with Cole going down, like Rodon has to be worth the contract they gave him.
He has to step up and be that ace. I mean, he technically doesn't because of Fried, but you would like him to be that de facto ace for you guys.
Yeah, like he's got to be Tanner Bybee. Like, it's got to be win day when he's on the bump. Because how big is that contract he signed?
That was what, 3 years?
So he just finished his second year with the Yankees.
Yeah. So that contract was 6 years. 6 years, $162 million.
Oh, I thought you were talking about years ago. Yeah. So 6 for 162.
Yeah.
Getting paid a boatload of money. Him and Stroman are both over $18 million a year. So it's like one of those two guys has to be really good. And like obviously, like my frustration with Rodon is that like he's got really good stuff, but it's only fastball, slider, and it's like arrogance a little bit. Like he won't move off the fastball sometimes. That frustrates me.
Yeah.
And when he struggles to locate it, it just like results in a lot of home runs because sometimes he thinks he's Dylan Cease because of those 2 years he had. But as kind of like the opening day starter, it's like, okay, like I would love to see just one encouraging start from you this spring, and I've not seen that. I've gotten 5 innings pitched, a 10 ERA. And like you're not limiting damage. Like the things that bugged me about you all last season when you led the league in home runs given up, like those things have not changed.
Yeah. And that's where you would hope a guy, who's, what is he, 32 now? Like you want to see him take that, take spring, not a little more seriously, but like, prove to us that you can man up and be the ace.
Yeah. Like, or just prove to us that you've got like pitchability. Like today from Max Fried was like perfect. Like
he went 5 today, you said?
Yeah, he went 5-0 runs, like looked the part, went back out there. I mean, it was maybe 4 2/3, and they had a Joe Torre come out there and get the thing from him. So it's like I just want to
Joe
see
Torre.
Yeah,
What was he doing there?
he went and got the ball from him when they did the swap.
Why?
I don't know.
Is he like? Are they honoring him or some shit?
No, he does it every spring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And like Max Fried had no clue.
yeah. I had no clue that he did that.
Yeah. So like, yeah, Joe Torre goes out there and like grabs the ball. It's like a big deal.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know, but he doesn't. Okay. Oh my God. Calm down. Why are you over there hating on the greatest, dude?
It's just like, brother, just like it just feels like such a joke. I don't know.
What? You don't like Joe Torre?
Not that I don't like him. It's just like, bro, this is like let your Savior Boone do that.
You're bugging.
I don't know, dude. It just seems a little cringy to me. It doesn't seem like a Yankee thing to do.
Having Joe Torre, the man who won 4 in 5 years, go out there and take the ball from you.
He does this every spring training game.
Yeah, not every game, like once a year.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, not every. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you made it seem like this was like a Yankee spring training tradition where they just trot out Joe Torre. Like,
no. It's like one spring training game a year. I see Joe Torre out there going to get the ball.
All right, that's fine then. I'm literally thinking to myself, like, what the fuck is this? I'm thinking like every time there was a pitching change, he's going out there. I'm like, why?
Yeah, he goes out there. Max Fried was all surprised. Said it was an awesome moment. Shout out Joe Torre.
Oh Jesus! All right, well, all right. I guess it's a little cool.
Yeah, but anyway, like Max Fried, like showing pitchability. Like I would hope that Rodon would show some form of pitchability at some point, and he just hasn't. And it's so frustrating.
Yeah, man. This is a big year for him. Honestly, giving him that big contract. I mean, for a guy who really just throws those 2 pitches, it can be a lot to ask when he's not on. It can get ugly,
especially like when Heel isn't going right now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, shit. It's just crazy the drop off he's had since coming to New York because he was so good that last year in Chicago and then that year in San Francisco too.
I wonder if they'll ask him to use his changeup more. Batting average against his changeup was 188 last year. He threw it 12% of the time. Okay. It feels like a Matt Blake thing to like get that changeup more involved.
I mean, shit, it worked against the Guardians, man. We couldn't hit changeups for shit last year.
Was he throwing changeups against you guys?
I would imagine so. I mean, that slider was working that.
Bro, get this. The slugging against his fastball is 514.
That's not good.
Against the slider, it's 361. Against the changeup,
yeah,
247. He did try a curveball sometimes last year. The slugging against that was 531, and then he tried the cutter, and the slugging against that was 647.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. Against us, he had 2 starts. First start, how many changeups? He only threw 9 changeups. The first start against us in the playoffs, 25 sliders, 52 four seams, and then a handful of curveballs and cutters. And then the second start, he had 85 pitches. Again, same thing, just 9 changeups. 24 sliders. So surprised he didn't throw that more often because we were really struggling against changeups, especially the second half of the season.
Well, we were trotting out Tommy Kahnle against you guys every trip, so we want you to see less changeups until it was just him hearing you would change
all of them at once.
Question before we get out, or 2 questions. For Noah, who's the Yankees and Indians starting 5 going into the year? The Yankees starting 5, I think. Fried, Rodon, Clark Schmidt, and I don't mind that top 3. I have my issues with Rodon, but I think that's a decent top 3. Then it gets a little bit sticky because you got to go Stroman, and then either Cookie or Will Warren.
Brother, you hope it's Will Warren. I'm gonna just tell you,
dude. Will Warren, Cookie, dude. Will Warren has looked really good so far this spring.
Yeah, dude. I know you've been high on him. That's your man's right there.
That's my guy, dude. Will Warren's been balling, bro, so far this spring, dude. I mean, like, I think he's got 4 starts and just like looked and felt the part.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, my computer's tweaking a little bit. What was Will Warren so far? He's pitched 15 innings, 16 strikeouts, a 0.7 WHIP, and a 2.8 ERA.
That's pretty fire right there.
Yeah, you absolutely love that. And then who will your starting five be?
I mean, the five for us, it's going to be what I think it'll be: Tanner Bybee 1, Gavin Williams 2. Unless if he implodes again tonight against Texas, I might have to rethink what we're going to do with Luis Ortiz. He might start the year in the pen. But right now, I hope that he puts together a decent outing tonight. It'll make me feel a little more comfortable because they viewed him as the 3 this whole time. But we'll go Luis Ortiz at the 3 for now. I think Ben Lively has cemented that 4 spot. He's pitched well enough this spring, and he pitched well enough last year to earn it. And then right now, the 5, it's got to be Logan Allen, the way he's pitched this spring. Cantillo, McKenzie, like neither of those guys have really stepped it up and earned it the way Logan Allen has. So I think you'll see Logan Allen at the 5 to start, and then that might be a fucking 5th starter by committee until Shane Bieber comes back in the middle of the year. And then you figure at that point, either, if Ben Lively is still looking good, you move him to the 5 and Luis Ortiz still can go to the 4. But yeah, I think that's what it'll be. If Logan Allen can pitch like he did 2 years ago, man, I love that because shit, 2 years ago, he was solid. I mean, when he first came up, you had him, Bybee, and Williams all come up at the same time. And he, in 2023, he went 7-8, 3.81 ERA. The WHIP is a little high, but, had 8.5 Ks per 9, which was better than what it was last year for him. I just think that, I don't know. I hope he picks it back up to where he was that year.
And then last question before we get out of here, Pat, who's your all-time favorite Yankee? And Chris, who's your all-time favorite Guardian? My all-time favorite Guardian is Grady Sizemore. I love Grady.
I think I'm going to go with, this is tough. Favorite Yankee all time. I fucking hate the Yankees. But I was honestly, probably Robbie Cano.
Shout out Robbie Cano.
Growing up, he was like on those teams with like A-Rod and Jeter and Tex. Like there were a lot of those guys that just were like annoying to play against. But Cano was just like, I don't know. He never did anything that like pissed me off. And he had like such a pretty swing. So I'll probably go Robbie Cano.
He was just smooth. He was just chilling.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for today. Yeah, that's Pat. I'm Chris. Welcome to Paint Corners. Like, sub. I'll see you guys probably when? Thursday. It's only Tuesday.
Back at it on Thursday.
Yep. Holler
a week before opening day.
A week away. A week before opening day.
Look at that. Oh, I can't wait, dude. I'm hyped.
Peace, gang.
Peace.